From the Oak Wall Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, this is Jesse Oakley III, and welcome to the Oak Zone with Jesse Oakley III. Today is Sunday morning, and it's time for the Sunday Morning Chat Series. Here I get to interview a plethora of positive people that are making a big difference in their community. And today, we are ourselves one fantastic show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere out there, there is a pet that is waiting to be adopted. Are you the person that's going to make that move and adopt a wonderful dog or cat? To talk about the joys of pet adoption, I have with me a wonderful and lovely cat owner. Please help me welcome Miss Laura St. Louis. Hey, Laura, how's it going?
I'm great, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And thank you for being on the Sunday Morning
Wonderful.
Chat Series.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
All right. So without further delay, let's chat.
Okay.
All right. Now, how many cats do you own?
We own two that we adopted together from the same litter. We named them Abbott and Costello. And we went through lots of, two boy names. We even thought of Wilbur and Orville. We just kind of ran the gamut. But we settled on Abbott and Costello because we figured they would bring some joy to our lives, which they most definitely have. We laugh all the time when it comes to these two.
All right. Who? Gotta get you there. Gotta get you there.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, what prompted you to adopt these wonderful animals?
Oh, I had just quit a job that I hated in February, and a girlfriend of mine kept posting pictures of some kittens she was fostering. She had mom and four babies. And I kept looking at these kittens and thinking, oh, I want cats so bad. I'd been wanting them for a long time. And I finally was able to talk my husband into it. Now, part of the reason he was hesitant is because I am actually very allergic to cats.
Ah.
And he kept saying, but honey, you're allergic. But honey, you're allergic. And I kept saying, but I want the cats. So he finally caved and we brought them home the beginning of May. And like I said, it's been kind of hit or miss, with the litter box and things like that. But for the most part, it's been pretty easy. We both owned cats in the past, and it's kind of, like riding a bike. You get used to it again.
All right, fantastic. Now, what are the challenges in owning two wonderful cats of Abbott and Costello?
They get into everything. Abbott, these cats are so opposite. You'd never know they came from the same litter. Abbott is into everything. He has to know what's going on, what you're eating, what you're doing constantly. And Costello is one of those that just kind of sits back and watches. Today, for a prime example, I closed the bedroom door with the cats in there, and Abbott laid against the door, and Costello just sat there very prim and proper waiting for me to open it. So, that's just how they are. They're just so opposite. And physically, they don't look that much alike. Their coloring is the same, but Abbott is very slender and kind of wiry looking. And Costello is thicker. I mean, he's not heavy, he's heavy, but he's very stocky, and has a fuzzier face. Darker hair in places than Abbott. And I mean, like I said, they came from the same litter. They do look enough alike, but at the same time, they don't look a whole lot alike if you look at just the faces.
All right. Now, what were some of the best moments that you have with these two furry little friends?
Well, like I said, they've brought a lot of joy into our house. We're empty nesters, and we had 5 children. And so going from 5 children to none over the past couple of years, it's been kind of quiet in the house. And I've missed having someone to take care of. And so the cats allow me to do that. It's, scooping the litter box and making sure they're fed. But then there's the joy part where they come up and snuggle. that I miss a great deal as a mom of older kids. And they do that. They'll come up and snuggle. Costello loves to have his belly rubbed, and he'll lay next to me for 45 minutes to an hour and just let me rub his belly, the entire time. And he's happy as a clam. So that's been one of the best parts, is just having something to take care of, or someone to take care of.
Oh, that's truly fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this gets you right here. Oh my goodness. Now, I tell you. Now, the next question I have for you is, let's say that someone wants to actually adopt a pet or an animal, whether it be a cat or a dog, and they are unsure about doing this process. If you're going to offer some advice for this person that's a little on the fence about owning it or adopting an animal, what type of advice would you give?
We went to or through the Humane Society. And if you're going to adopt a pet, I strongly recommend you do the Humane Society for cats, at least locally. Cats and dogs, there's a place called the Noah's Project. There's Faithful to Felines. There's another one. It starts with an H. But Heaven Can Wait. Heaven Can Wait. And all of these places where you can adopt pets. And it's like, I would prefer someone go there than adopt an animal out of a litter. Just my 2 cents. The reason for that is it was $100 per kitten, but they fixed the cats. They made sure that they were all vaccinated. They had all of their dewormings, and I mean, everything. These animals were ready to come home when they were about 14 weeks old, but we didn't have to do any vet visits or anything when we brought them home. They were ready to come home at that point. And if you adopt a pet from a litter, somebody has a cat that, gave birth to kittens, that is all on you. And it's more costly to do it that way. So by all means, go to the shelters. Make sure you're not in a rush, because obviously, we decided in February to adopt these kittens, and it was May before we brought them home. So don't be in a rush. Visit the shelter, see if there's a dog or a cat that just speaks to you. If that makes sense, the connection is there. You just know. And that's how I felt with these two. I was playing with 3 of them, and I had to decide on 2, and it was tough, but I made the right choice with the 2 that I picked.
All right. And you mentioned these wonderful organizations, I believe Humane Society, Faithful for Felines, and Heaven Can Wait. Now, is there any place that they can go, for example, like a website, or them to connect to these different locations?
I did find a website. I don't remember the name of it. I did a search and looked for pet shelters or adopting pets, that kind of thing.
Right.
And there was actually this website that popped up, and I don't recall the name, but it did give me access to all the pets at all these shelters that were available for adoption right then. And this is like birthing season, I swear. I see stuff on Facebook all the time from Heaven Can Wait that they're at Petco, or the Humane Society is at Petco. And Petco, of course, is a national chain. So I don't know if these agencies are all across the US or not, but I know they are here, at least in West Michigan.
I tell you what, it wouldn't hurt to ask. And for those people that want to know more about this, do not fret, because the links for these wonderful organizations will be in the description right below. So after this interview, you can just check out the links, and it'll be right there, right below. All right.
Awesome.
Now, time flies when you're having a whole lot of fun. And I enjoy having fun with you, talking about pets and having a good laugh here and there, and just enjoying the moment. And it just shows that the joy of having pets is truly amazing. Now, the next part of our meeting of our interview, I should say, is our shout out portion. Now, if you can give a shout out to anybody for making this possible, who would you like to give a shout out to?
That shout out would go to my friend Rachel Van Dyke. She's the one that brought in Mom and the babies. These kittens were ready to be homed. They were not, quote unquote, raised in a shelter. They were raised in her son's bedroom. They had toys. They had a little tree. They had litter boxes. They had food. They were well loved by her and her son, and were very accustomed to human interaction. by the time we brought them home. So I would give a shout out to her for sure. She, like I said, she does fostering for the Humane Society. This isn't the first time they've done it. They've done it in the past, and she and her son are really, really good at it.
All right, fantastic. Now, this last question I have for you, it will be addressed to my people and my crew, the happy people. And many times they're inspired by the guests I have on this podcast. They're amazed. They're always take these great solid words of wisdoms from all the different guests that have been on this podcast. Now, if you could actually share your words of wisdom for my people, my crew, the happy people, what would it be?
I would say adopt a pet if it makes sense for you. I'm not here to say everybody needs to have a pet, because not everybody needs to have a pet.
Right.
Again, when we had the 5 children, pets were not an option. The house was too crowded. So it's like, no, we can't do pets right now. But with them gone, yeah, we've got plenty of room. We've got plenty of space, plenty of love, especially to give to these animals. And again, they've given so much to us. They don't know it, but they've given so much to both of us. I mean, even my husband, who was so against it at first, has just fallen in love with both of them. We talk about them like they're our children. He gave me a little thing for my desk that says, my kids have paws, that I absolutely love. And I'm just like, yeah, they really are our children. We talk about them like we would talk about the kids when they were living at home. So, if you want to adopt a pet, really consider the shelters. They take very good care of them prior to adoption. And these are some of the most loving animals you could ever find.
All right. And an excellent way to bookend this wonderful interview. And on behalf of all the happy people that are watching this episode of the Sunday Morning Chat Series, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out to be here on this wonderful podcast talking about the joys of pet adoption. And this concludes this episode of the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. If you want a plethora of positivity that is going to make a big difference, all you need to do is go to YouTube, type in Jesse Oakley III, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, comment, like, and share these videos with other happy people that you know. And for more positive words of wisdom, go to my YouTube channel, click on the link, the Sunday Morning Chat Series, and you will get a chance to hear me interview past positive guests like my friend Laura right here. This concludes this episode of the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. Until next time, you take care. Remember to always, always, always have a great day. Bye.
Bye.